Alright, hello, this is Mike from MFWoodShop. I have my table saw and my outfeed table cleared off, and figured it'd be a good time to shoot my table saw area shop tour. So that's what's going on today. As you can see, the brown part here is my outfeed table. Obviously this is my table saw. It is a Delta Contractor 12-inch saw. Just to start it all off here, I make my own inserts. The factory one broke on me, and I used it as a template to make my own inserts. And I got about 7 or 8 of them over there, blank, ready to be cut new if I had to. The only thing I don't like about making my own inserts is with the weather changing, they tend to expand and contract. So one season it seems like it's a little too narrow for the slot, and the other season it seems like it's a little fat for the slot. When it's narrow, I just put a dab of hot glue on the tabs here, which I'll show you here in a second, and on all 4 tabs, and then I press this down into the slot and smooth it off to the table. And right now it's still a little proud, so I might re-hot some glue here soon on that. But it's proud up here. It's actually a little shallow back here, so it's not a perfect setup, but it beats spending $30, $40 on an insert. I use the factory miter fence. It's a Delta miter fence, obviously. And up here in the top here has a little channel. I just store my blade changing tools up here. I wouldn't recommend that. I kind of got used to it, but I wouldn't recommend it for you guys. Every now and then these things will vibrate off and come out here and possibly be a hazard for you. I've kind of gotten used to it, and it's one of those things you get in a bad habit of, and it's hard to break of. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, but let me switch angles and I'll show you what else I got going on here. Okay, at this angle you can see a little bit better my insert, and when you pull it out you got these 4 tabs right here. With the factory insert here, you can see it's busted here, it's cracked here, so it's not any good. Only thing I use it or even keep it around for is just a template. But the factory setup went right into there. See, it don't even fit anymore. Well, like I said, I make my own inserts. I got blank ones, I got a dado stack one, I got probably I got 4 more over there on the wall that hasn't even been cut. They're all blank. But I'm just keeping them around just in case I need to come up with a new insert. But most of the time I'll just shove the insert in there, raise the blade, cut a new insert, just like everybody does. But like I said, if you can see that little hot glue right here on all 4 corners works well in that little pad right there. And I put glue on there, and then I smush the glue down until it's level, and then let the glue set, and then I can reuse it over and over and over. This is a phenolic insert that I bought, and like I said, I love these things, but I don't like paying for them. You may have seen me use this a lot. This is my Incra miter gauge 1000. It's pretty damn accurate. Has slide it back and forth, it's all over the place. I keep a little wrench over here in my tray, and I can even extend this portion out even further. And of course this whole thing is adjustable this way as well if I want to put it on the right side of the blade or the left side of the blade. The dado stack that I use is this one here, and I'm going to butcher this name, but I think it's pronounced Freud. But it's a fantastic blade set, dado stack blade. Little on the salty side. I think I paid around $250 or $200 or $250 for this. And but you know, I've had it for a couple years and it's still sharp and it still works very well. I keep it in this case to protect the blades and everything, and it works out real well. One thing I do anytime I set up a new dado cut, I just have this little story pole, and you'll notice on here I got numbers like 1 through 5, and I got the measurements 13/16. Well, with those numbers and the size, usually if I have a we'll take this for example, I got enough of them now where I can just go through here and find one that fits. Of course I don't have that one, but for example, say that one fit right there, I know I can go to blade 2 through 5 and with the spacer A, and I wrote all that in there myself. One thing I did is engraved like the master blade 2. I got a number on all my chippers, and even on the spacers, which is underneath here, I have a number engraved on them as well. So I can always, every time I make a new slot, I can always put in what blade I used, any spacers that I may have used, and of course I'm going to use the 2 master blades. So that's it. Okay, the fence area, and that's my router area over there, and I'll show you that here in a second. A couple things I do with my fence, or use with my fence, is these Rockler clamps here. They look like that. You guys have probably seen these things before. They work out pretty well. You can put them down on the fence right there, clamp them down. And now I have a sacrificial piece that I can slide over my blade if I need to. And I keep that just hanging on my pegboard over there, and I don't really use that anything other than that. You can see where I've you can see where I've used that as a sacrificial piece before. You may have seen this sled used in my evenly spaced dados video. I had a dado set up in here, and a little stop block, and you know, nothing fancy here, just a sled with a clamp. It's one of my older sleds that I've used, and I actually kind of like this one. It slides perfect. I mean, no play at all. This one worked out beautifully. It's just, it's only going to be good for the one thing that I built it for, which was a snowflake setup for 3/4 stock. I have a stop block here permanently. You know, I can run my 3/4 stock up here, run my 60-degree cuts, and I can make snowflakes really fast. The snowflakes I'm talking about are from Steve Ramsey's video. Give me 2 seconds, I'll show you one. There we go. You know, I make them really fast to make these things. I think I like that one the best. But Steve Ramsey did this a few years ago, and I basically copied his idea. So, but I didn't build this too long ago, and it's already, the wood's moved enough where I had to put quite a bit of pressure to slide this. So either I need to sand it down a little bit and get it tight, or put some wax on it, or, well, we can kind of see it's kind of rubbing right here, so probably some wax on here, probably loosen that up a little bit. So I also designed it a little bit so I can actually put a long board here and actually rip it if I need to with a circular saw, and it gives me support on both sides of the workpiece. So if this was my workpiece, I can run my circular saw right through here and that gap without cutting any tables or having an extra setup to put something underneath it. So my router setup over here on the end, I built this extra. The table ended here, and I added this part over here. And this is a router insert with my router lift attached to it. And I got a bolt right here that I can raise my bit or lower my bit. And when I want that fine adjustment, I can always just throw this on a ratchet and get that fine adjustment on it. A router fence, I've had people ask me about this, and I do have one. This is what it is. It's long, it extends over the table, which is what I wanted, so I could clamp it down if I wanted to. And then after I built it and used it a couple times, I realized I didn't have to clamp it down. I could just use my fence and clamp it to the fence, and that works out real well. But there's a T-slot here if I ever want to put a stop block, or clamp something down, and have some extra accessories. The mouth for the router bit, I did not make that adjustable. I kind of wish I did now, but it works out pretty well for most of the things I need to do. As long as I got a long piece of stock, I'm fine. This is kind of the back side. My original intention was to use this for storage, but what I didn't know at the time is how much I did not use this. Slide the fence over, and I take those Rockler clamps that I showed you earlier. I got a hole here, and that clamps it, and a hole down here, and that clamps it to the fence. Then I can use the fence to bring that closer to the blade if I need. Or one of the main reasons I wanted to show you. This is my router lift, and I built this from, again, Steve Ramsey's video when he was doing the router lift or the router table build, and it's pretty much identical to his design, and it works pretty decent. Pretty pleased with it. I would do a few things over, and I might someday, but I'll probably buy a commercial router lift someday. This switch here, that one of them can run my dust collector and one of them can run my router table. I would not advise doing this. Several times I've had that plugged in, and when you have that plugged in, of course your router is set to the on motion and your dust collector is set to the on motion. But I was down here one day adjusting the blade. I'm going to put this light down here for a second, so it might get a little dark. I was down here one day adjusting the blade, and I had my piece, my hand right here, and I had a piece right here with the blade exposed, and being an idiot, I was working here and I was fine-tuning the adjustment, and my shirt sleeve or something hit that switch like that, and it turned the router on. Now luckily I wasn't close enough to the blade where it didn't any damage, but Since then, I'm very aware of that now. So I may end up getting rid of this. I would not advise people to do this. Matter of fact, I want to turn that off. So my dust collector will come on. And I usually do leave the dust collector on because it's hooked up to my table saw. And I can just reach over here, flip the switch, and turn the table saw on. Or the dust collector on when I'm doing the table saw. So, underneath the outfeed table, I got just a old trash can, and I throw my cutoffs in it. Like I said earlier, I store my bandsaw under here. It's just a benchtop bandsaw, and it's heavy, yes, but not heavy enough where I could still easily move it. The one thing I hate about this saw is how the motor is. I can't stand that. I wish the motor was encased like a contractor or the other saws that I can't think of right now. The weight of the motor holds the tension to the belt, which I don't like. It causes vibrations, and so that's the only thing I hate about the saw. Other than that, the saw has been great, and it works very well. Right through here, if you could see that little setup that I got going, this piece right here is the top of the outfeed table. This piece here is a spacer, and this piece here actually mounts to the bottom channel of the table saw that I had to put a L bracket on to accomplish this setup. And I got several bolts down there. You can see them with the wing nuts, and so I can remove it fairly easy if I wanted to. And I put the outfeed table on wheels as well, so I can actually move this whole assembly anywhere in the garage I wanted to. But for the most part, it stays right here and it don't move. So that's what I got. This is Mike from MFWoodShop. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.